Hello everybody and welcome back to another video of Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a more different type video where we're going to go over a previous game. The last video actually in our Ranked Duo to Grandmaster game, I believe it's episode 10, where I'm able to play Dahaka and Purge is playing the Brightwing. I'm going to go ahead and pause it quick here so we can talk about these teams. So we're going to go ahead and do my best to refer to blue team as blue team, which is my team, and red team, which is the enemy team, as red team. But I might mess it up, but blue team and red team. So we're going to go ahead and break down these teams quickly. So we have on the blue team, Asmodan, May, Phoenix, Dahaka, and Brightwing. I'm on the Dahaka, and Purge is on the Brightwing. And first thing we're going to notice when you're looking at this team is they have really, really good wave clear. Between Phoenix, Dahaka, and Asmodan, we'll be able to clear lanes for days, which is a big strength for us. We also have decent camp clear, with Phoenix having excellent camp clear, Dahaka and Asmodan having good camp clear, and then there's also May and Brightwing. um, we have, however, a fantastic draft for this map, and the reason for that is we have two global heroes. Dahaka and Brightwing are global heroes. If you don't know what a global hero is, I can explain it. So it's basically, let's say that there's an objective that just spawned right here. Okay, you can have Dahaka in this lane or Brightwing in this lane or vice versa, and they can instantly teleport into the team fight happening here. Um, so that's basically what a global hero is someone who could be in two places at once very, very quickly. And Dahaka has that with his Brush Stalker and Brightwing with her Z. I forget what her Z is called, but so another thing to look at with blue team is overall we're very tanky. We can take a couple hits and still live. With Asmodan, May, Dahaka, very tanky heroes. We're also a very self-sustainable team. May, Phoenix, Dahaka, Brightwing all have ways to heal or shield themselves, or both in some cases with May. So we're going to be able to take some punches and still recover. Um, we what else do we got? That's for red team. We have not that good peels. May has decent peels. Dahaka has a Dahaka tongue, but that's inconsistent and typically not used to peel, but rather to lock down a target. And then Brightwing has decent peels, but that's really only for herself with a polymorph and her blinks. But the last pro to our team is we have excellent objective push on this map. So how this map works, seeds will spawn. It's just like Cursed Hollow seed spawn. Cap the seeds, get the things to come fight for you. Get the Garden Terrors to come fight for you. And Asmodan, Phoenix, Dahaka, all of these heroes have really good siege damage. They're able to push down buildings and do a good job of it. Now, some cons to blue team are we don't have great lockdown, very little lockdown. You got the Dahaka tongue, but that's a long cooldown, inconsistent, hard to land ability that if you miss it, your team now has no lockdown. Um, May has some lockdown, but typically May's abilities are meant to be used to peel for her allies rather than lock down a target and kill them. And then another thing with our team is overall we have low poke. May's damage is low, especially poke-wise. Brightwing, Dahaka, all of our damage is very low for poke. Phoenix has somewhat poke, but typically poke is damage you can deal without the enemy team dealing damage back to you. At least that's how I look at it. So Phoenix, if he's going to try to deal some damage, he needs to at least be within range of a Living Bomb, Diablo combo, Nova blow up, Greymane jump. Azmodan's Q is the only real ability that's poke for us, so our team fight is a little bit all over the place. So if we're looking at this team comp, we know we have a good late game. Azmodan scales very well. Dahaka, Phoenix, Brightwing, all are late game heroes. Monsters in the late game. Brightwing's decent in the early game too, but all these heroes just become way better the later the game goes on. Moving on to the red team, we have Kel'Thas, Nova, Diablo, Lucio, and Greymane. Um, Looking at their team, they also have decent wave clear. Not quite as good as ours, but Kel'Thas and Greymane, they can blow up a minion wave just fine. They'll have no problem there. Um, they also have really good camp clear. Between a Kel'Thas and a Greymane, that camp clear is very good, and it could be amazing if they also went for a bribe on Nova, but she doesn't pick that at level 4 in this game, so they don't have that extra bit of camp timing, which, as I mentioned, or I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but this map is all about timing. Um, since there's no lane you really want to be focusing down because there's no boss lane, it's all about timing your camps around whenever the objectives are spawning. Um, if you're able to get good camp timings, those can carry you through a team fight and win you the game. Um, or even if you lose the team fight, you're still getting enough value to justify losing the team fight. Um, the enemy team, the big thing that they got going for them is their dive and one target blow up. They have a fantastic combo between Diablo charging, Greymane jumping in with Novas hitting their Q, and Kael'thas with the extra stun and extra blow up. They can easily blow up any one of these heroes. Even Mei with uh, her ice block is not going to be able to survive if all 5 of these heroes are jumping onto her. So their lockdown is really strong and fairly easy with especially on this map where there's a decent bit of walls um, where the team fights are going to be happening, especially these 2 team fight areas. Um, Continuing on, they have uh, their objective push is decent. Kael'thas and Greymane, that's not even true. It's really just Greymane that has the objective push for them. He's the only one that really has really good, consistent building damage. The rest of them just kind of will tickle the buildings down. Um, so their objective push really isn't that great. Um, so those were some things for the red team. Some more things. Let's see. Some cons, especially though, is their peels. Very, very little peels. Kael'thas has some sort of peel with his E, but it's very hard to land, and uh, typically he'll still get blown up anyway. Diablo, although he does have peels with his Q and E, those abilities are typically wanting to be used as a damaging ability that you use to set up combos. So if he's using it to peel for allies, you won't have that tool for getting picks. And whenever their whole comp is focused around getting picks, you're going to lack the peels. Another thing you'll notice with them is they have no front line. Diablo is the only real hero who's going to be in our face, which means Diablo's going to get bursted rather quickly. They do have the Greymane, but he's a melee assassin. He's not meant to be in the fight, blowing us off, like being there and helping Diablo, being another body we can tank. Now this brings me to my last point, which is they have a terrible, terrible selfish pick. That's Nova. Nova doesn't fit into this team comp, and Nova is one of the selfish heroes in the game. Now, what I mean by a selfish hero is a hero who your team has to build their comp around it. So, Nova requires her team to play around her. This includes heroes like Sergeant Hammer, Chromie to an extent, Abathur, the Lost Vikings, even Medivh require their team to kind of play around them, and those are heroes you typically don't want to be picking a uh, in a ranked game. Because what if this Diablo, for instance, what if he didn't want to play a bursty Diablo? What if he wanted to play? He could only play peel tanks. He only likes playing ETC, Mei, and Mal'Ganis, but he's forced to play the blow up Diablo tank because that's what their comp requires with a Nova. So I promise I'll start the game. I just want to get to one more uh, quick key to be thinking of. So if you are blue team, you're gonna be wanting to soak. You lose versus red team early game because of their blow up ability. They'll be able to get one quick pick, and then from there it's just easy sailing through the team fight. So on an even playing field, Blue team does not want to fight. They should not be wanting to fight on an even playing field. Red team all day fight, 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 fight. If we're even, fight, because they should come out on top. Um, let's see. So this means they want to be getting on the red team. They want to be getting early picks and continue to get picks, stagger blue team, and use that advantage to just snowball the win. Whereas blue team, they want to be soaking, playing defensively. That's the word I'm looking for, is defensively. You can play a game. You have 6 buildings you can lose before you lose the video game. Use them to your advantage. You can give up to 6 buildings and still have a fighting chance. So if this means we have to get our Phoenix into the late game to get that percent damage to kill that Diablo, do it. Give that objective. Get to the late game. That's the mindset we're thinking going into this game. Me being Dahaka and Purge being the Bright Wing. And then play defensively. Don't let yourself get picked off by their easy gank squad. We'll go ahead and start the game so you can see some action. It's good to keep in mind also that this is the second time I'm recording this, because the first time my mic was turned down all the way and I didn't realize it. So my voice is gonna need some water, so you'll excuse me. So just take a look at the red team's comp though. Could you imagine if they had an Artanis, Leoric, Mathael instead of the Nova? They would have so much more frontline capability. Those heroes still have decent dive capabilities as well. So Nova is just such a selfish pick this match. Now, I looked for my tongue pick on Dihaka, didn't get it, so I immediately go soaking, trying to get XP with an early pick. But we missed it, so we back out and start to soak. Asmodean send his minion top lane, and I'm soaking here, so we're already starting to get a little bit of an XP advantage. And red team is trying to get a pick mid lane. That's why they're still fighting here. That's why they haven't split off to the lanes, is they are, for their comp, technically doing the right thing. They want to be looking for that pick. However, they do stay too late, so they're already missing a whole minion wave here and here, compared to us, who's starting to grow a little bit of an XP advantage. We're ahead by just a tad. Now, Greymane is making the right play here. He's going for a camp. This is the correct play for the Greymane player. He has great camp clear, so he needs to be doing that. However, this camp is going to get him about 1 minion wave worth of XP, and he's losing more than that right here. Me on the Dahaka with my tongue, my 1 lockdown ability, the one on our team, the only lockdown ability on our team. I went mid to look for a pick, couldn't find it, so I'm going to go back down bottom to soak. Greymane making the right play, trying to get some more camps pushing because this map is about timing. However, with this being said, his team needs to cover for him. His team needs to be here soaking this XP instead of Nova, who's been sitting here for the past 30 seconds, not soaking or doing anything. She does try to scout for the pick, so now we have vision of them. They know that they're trying to look for this invade. We're getting good camp timings as well. And here's the first global presence of the game. Purge is able to force the enemy team out, save our Asmodean long enough for us to get level 4. This is now a losing fight for the enemy team. Level 4, they can no longer fight this. However, they're doing a great job. They're soaking and getting good camp timings going. We're losing soak in the bottom lane, and the camp is pushing, so this is not good for us. Once again, like I said, a good camp timing by the red team, and this map is all about camp timing, timing, timing. Objective does finally spawn right here in the mid-left part of the map, and immediately you'll notice here, we're going to go ahead and pause it. Purge and I are okay fighting here for a couple reasons. So you'll see the enemy team has a bruiser camp pushing versus our siege camp. Bruiser camp will beat the siege camp if they're both just left unattended. So what we need to be looking for is to defend against this camp. Now, if you can't count the heads here, we have 1, 2, 3 on red team to 1, 2 on blue team, which means this is a winning fight for red. Red should win this fight. However, where the fight actually matters, which is right here at the objective, we should have 3 people here to the 2 enemy team here. So this is a winning fight for blue team. So we can lose this fight but win this fight, and we're fine with that. Additionally, this fight can turn into a 5 versus 2 very quickly with our global abilities. So that's why Purge and I are totally fine fighting here, just trying to get to the late game. We're trying to soak, because we know that we win if we get to the late game. And friendly team is able to look for some picks in here. Remember, this is a winning fight. They have more numbers, 3 to 2. They're able to start to get this lockdown on the Kael'thas, who has no team to support him. Purge coming in and saving our ally, who could have gotten picked, and now I'm able to clear this camp, get more XP. This is a 4v4. I could technically continue to stay top and soak the whole time. However, I want to ensure that we get this objective, so I do use my Z to help my allies capture it, try to look for any picks. We're not quite able to here, but we do capture the objective. No camps are pushing. We're ahead a whole level on XP, so I'm comfortable coming down and sacrificing my Z to get that little bit of an advantage. Now, enemy red team, they have all of the camps taken, so they want to be soaking up the lanes. Waves are pushing into them, so they're just getting XP. And we want to be getting XP too, so there's top lane to soak, a lot of XP top lane. But we decided to take the camp, and since this is even, if you remember, blue team loses versus red team when they are even. So we just decide to all group up here and stick as 5. So if they do come to take our camp, we'll at least have a better fighting chance with there being 5 of us compared to 4 if someone was out soaking. We get a good camp taken, and I could have used my Z to go top lane, but I'm saving it for the objective, as I want to be using it in the proper lane. So right now, I missed my tongue, I go to back, but I see the seed is spawning. So just like I said a few seconds ago, I want to be in the furthest lane away to get a good XP push in advantage. Now, the enemy team is setting up for a great play here. They know their advantage is to get picks, and here comes Nova for the pick. They use this advantage of their blow up, and they're able to quickly and efficiently kill me before Purge can even react. He tried. He did react. He just didn't get it in time. This whole time, though, Phoenix was soaking in the top lane for the blue team, so we're able to continue our lead. And the enemy team now, with me being dead for 9 more seconds, they can all head right to the objective and probably cap it in time. But they want to try to push their advantage and get a second pick mid lane. They kind of stall out here for a few moments, giving me enough time to revive. I now have my bush stalker back up, so I can get into this team fight immediately if I want to. No camps are pushing anywhere. Lanes are fairly even everywhere, so fighting for either team is okay. There's no real like terrible reason to fight here, but blue team is even on talents as the red team. So technically, as I said before, red team with their better team fight, better blow up, beats blue team, especially in the early game. So we could have backed out and given an objective, considering we can give 2 objectives right now, whereas enemy team can only give 1 objective. We decided to fight, though, which isn't a terrible play. The team fight is kind of all over the place. Our lack of peels is having our Phoenix get in trouble, which means he's not able to lock down on the Diablo that got tongued with our only lockdown ability. So kind of just all over the place. And we really are starting to dwindle down. And due to our lack of peels, we do end up losing this team fight. Now, we're still fighting, though, because we feel like we could win. Enemy team's getting fairly low, but I'd say right about here is where we need to decide, okay, look, this team fight's lost. Just get out of here. There's lanes that we can soak. We can try to get to level 10 before the enemy team does. So for the next objective, we can get better camp timings because we'll have the level advantage to do so. But instead, we go back in. We die anyways, and the enemy team's able to capture it. So not the worst team fight in the world. We gave it our all. We could have just disengaged a little bit sooner, but overall that was just a pretty even team fight that red team won due to them having a better team comp for fighting. And they go right to camp clear, as you can see, and they're also looking though for their big advantage, one of their biggest strengths, picks. Asmodean is safe here against the Greymane. But with the Nova coming in with a good gank, she's able to get a kill. I see that, and I want to try to take this camp. Because I'm betting that the red team is going to take this camp, and then this camp, and then they'll come for this camp. That's what I'm really betting on. I'm really hoping for. And honestly, it's a bit of a stupid play. Our Phoenix is doing a good job of taking this camp. The correct play here is to go take this. The greedy play, which I was really trying to push our advantage to deny the enemy team of XP and continue to bring our lead up, is to take this. Now, enemy team's coming in with a gank squad, and I should die here. Really good camp timings by red team and blue team, but we know from before, bruiser camp beats siege camp in a 1v1 scenario. They also have a really good camp timing here, whereas we do not. Now, this team fight, you'll notice once again is an even team fight. We could back out right now. If we back out right now, we're able to give the 1C that we're allowed to give still. Defend against this camp and defend against this camp. Our buildings are still healthy, so that'll be fine to do. But instead, we decide to fight even against this terrifying enemy team at level 10. We're once again just relying on my lockdown to get any kills we can, which does come out right here. We're able to get a nice pick, but with the enemy team having level 10, they're also able to pick up a nice pick and on a more significant hero, which is our healer. However, we're doing our best to continue these fights, and we're already able to pick up not just one more kill, but 2 more kills, giving us a 3 to 1 kill advantage. And I see this, and I immediately say, oh crap, that's a lot of XP. I need to be top to defend against this. I chose to defend against top instead of middle because top had more XP. That was the only reason. And this would dealt more damage, I felt, compared to this. But I'll go ahead and press B so you can see the team fight too. And also, just we had, if you skip back a little more, I'll show you can see that this building had a lot more to it than it does even now. But I back out immediately, and with me Zine to the top lane, Nova then comes in out of nowhere and almost takes down our Phoenix. So the enemy team, I could have stuck around and continued to fight here, but due to good camp timing, which I mentioned before is a huge factor of this map, enemy team is able to force me out, and now they're starting to revive. They're starting to come back to life. And we can't get back to this fight. We have 2 heroes defending against camps, so we can't re-engage here. We can try, but enemy team is already all revived, all there, all grouped, and there's that one target blow up that I keep talking about, able to get them 2 quick kills. And secure them an objective. We now are no longer allowed to give an objective, whereas enemy team can still give one. So they are effectively right now in the lead, despite being down a little bit on XP, which means our advantage is going to be try to get level 13 before they get level 13 for the next objective. So we're going to start soaking, Azmodean's soaking as well. But you see gank squad coming in. Thankfully this time Azmodean was able to read it and he's able to get out in time. But if that gank squad was able to get a pick there, they could have then contested this camp. But they cannot contest this camp. They cannot contest any of these camps. We have a level 13 to 12 advantage, so they can't come and fight here. You could argue, well, Dahaka's showing top lane, so that means that this fight they'd have numbers. 1, they don't have numbers because Nova's not there. And 2, Dahaka can be here within a second with his Z, his Bush Stalker. So they should not take this fight. They should back out, soak lanes. I get they're trying to look for a pick, but with them being down a talent tier and Dahaka being able to be in this fight instantly, it's a bad look for them. I'm going to take a swig of water and just let this team fight unfold. So they do go in, and they start locking down one target, but it's our tankiest target. It's our Mei. They now, I was able to Bush Stalker in. We're able to get a quick kill on their tank. And their Nova's very split this fight. I'm actually going to go ahead and replay this, just so you can see. Take note of how low our Phoenix was. Our Phoenix was like 1 HP. So now, enemy team, they're going in on our Mei. Mei's getting low. She's not here. Nowhere to be seen, the Nova. Nova now decides to go down. She goes down this way. She should have gone up this way towards her team. So since she goes down and starts looking for a pick, had that triple tap gone on our Mei, that probably could have killed Mei. Had she taken one ability towards Mei, look at how much damage she dealt to Phoenix. She could have dealt that to Mei and gotten the pick, but instead she chose not to. We're able to pick up a double kill on the enemy team, and you'll see quickly here the power of Lucio. Watch this. Peel! That's the only peel that Lucio has, and it's kind of funny. But we now have a little bit of an XP advantage in that fight due to us having a good camp timing. Enemy team being down still, both on a man and a talent tier advantage. They should be looking to take their camp, which is coming up, take this camp, which is coming up, try to regain that XP, be soaking in other lanes, and they should not be looking for this fight here. They end up making the right play. They have the capabilities to give one more seed, so they decide this is the seed to give. Really good play by them. I figured they're going to give it. I know my Bush Stalker's on a long cooldown, but I gambit that they're going to give, so I'm trying to push my advantage as hard as I can here, because I know, okay, bases are loaded. It's 2-2. Next team fight, next seed is for all the marbles, which means I need to get us level 16 before the seed spawns, and that's going to be hard to do. That's why I'm taking this gambit and pushing here. Enemy team, though, reacts well, and they come with the gank squad. Not everybody's there, though, because Greymaine's doing a good play and trying to get camps, get his XP regained. But a nice timing by Purge, which is a 35-second cooldown. I used all my essence, which is not a long cooldown, but it takes a while to charge up. Mei uses her snowball. Just by the enemy team using their gank capability, they're able to force out a lot of resources from us. Good camp timing by the Greymane. Going to be a good camp timing by Azmodan. We're looking for this camp timing, which is good. And red team should be looking for this camp timing, which will be good. They're also looking for a pick in the middle lane. Really good play by them. I'll skip back so you can see it. They see Phoenix. They see he's vulnerable. Had just Diablo said, I don't want to take this camp, I'm going to go mid because Kael'thas can take it. Had just Diablo come here, he would have had the CC to lock down this Phoenix player. And with Greymane coming in, that could have been a huge pick, which could have won them the game. But due to them having a lack of CC in the mid lane, Phoenix was able to get out just fine. We take the camp, and now this is the stage is set. C is about to spawn. Everybody's grouping up for the fight, and you'll see right here, there's a huge things are happening. We got camps pushing, that's good for us. They also have a camp pushing, good for them. We have one more camp here, so that's a little bit better for us. And we have two plays here. We can say, you know what? Screw this objective. We have more camps pushing than they do. Lanes are in our favor with this lane being pushed up so far and this camp pushing in. We can defend mid just fine. Give this objective. That's 3 seeds wasted for them. We'll be able to get level 16 and snowball a win from there. That's one option. Option 2 is, okay, same thing. We got better camps than them. Let's fight. Worst case, we lose. We have a bunch of buildings still alive, still healthy to help defend against the enemy team's push. Their push isn't that good anyway, so let's fight. We are even on talent tiers, which we know from past experience, red team beats us on even talent tiers. But we are 2 levels ahead, which could help. So we decide we're going to fight. And you'll see right here, this is a big no-no. We're grouped nicely on our side of the map. Enemy team grouped nicely. They see how they like to be clumped a little bit more? That's because they're looking for their burst combo to kill one target. And then you have Nova. Nova's in the middle of our team. Not where she should be. She should be right with her team. She's a burst mage. She needs to be looking for the target Diablo locks down. And as for red or blue team, we need to be looking for a Dahaka tongue pick to help us lock down a target. So that's the 2 things we're doing. We see the Nova here, and then Diablo's mind goes from, oh crap, I need to look for a combo, to, oh crap, I need to save my Nova. He's in peel mode right now. He's trying to save his ally. I'm able to land a nice tongue. Great capitalization by the friendly team. Huge lockdown. And from there, we start playing this team fight better because Nova... I don't want to skip back because it's really far. She was right here, and she went all the way around here. Walked back here and pressed triple tap. She could have just gone right here and blown up whoever Diablo chose. They didn't. Purge has nice heals. We're getting into the late game, so our talents are giving us a huge advantage in these fights. We're able to soak up enough damage and deal enough damage to win this fight. Due to this, we get level 16. I use Z-Top to press our advantage because I figure 4-2 ain't no way we lose this fight. I'm correct, especially with us having a level 16 advantage. We capture the seed, and I'm going to speed it up because the rest of the game is really history. We have such good push. There's nothing the enemy team can really do now. It's a little bit too late for them. Since I prepped the top lane a little bit, we're able to get fast damage down here. And we will take top lane. Phoenix is doing a good job of killing middle lane. Greymane gives up. He does come back though. But we're able to continue to fight here. And you'll see one more time, this fight all of a sudden, pretty good for red team. A glimmer of hope appears. They have 3 heroes who are more healthy than our 3 heroes. A triple tap coming out, dealing a lot of damage. Diablo's coming in. This is a good fight for them. However, power of a global hero. Evening out this team fight, able to just be another body for my team, get a lockdown on their healer, and with us having such a high level advantage, they're not able to turn it around. They're not able to recover from the damage we've done, and that's the end of the video game. So a big thing that happened here was there's 2 defining moments, I'd say. One, the Nova. This Nova player made too many bad decisions for them to win the game. With that final team fight, she took wrong pathing here and didn't group with her team right. So that was a wrong play. She forced her team to play around her just by picking Nova. She had bad... that's funny. Phoenix is asking what happened. What happened to this game? She also has bad wave clear. She just isn't helpful for her team in much ways. And then another team fight that was defining was the one that happened in this area. If you remember, the enemy team was trying to engage on us and get a pick, but I was able to brush stalk her in. Nova took a bad route this way instead of coming up to her team, and we were able to clean house in that team fight and continue to push our XP advantage and close out the video game. Well, let me know if you like this kind of video. Let me know if I can improve upon it at all. What to change. If you guys like these videos a lot, I'll try to do it for as many ranked duo to grandmaster videos as I can. But if you guys aren't a big fan of it, let me know, and I'll put my resources into something else. But I hope that you guys did enjoy today's video, and I will see you all in the next one.